Hey everybody, you ever wanted to add an accessory to your Gator and you can't find a place to plug it into other than a cigarette lighter? Well, if you want to find out where some secret locations are, come on, I'll show you. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate so much you guys tuning in. Wanted to share some information with you about wiring in accessories to a Gator. Now I have the TS model, which is the low end, most inexpensive one that they have, but it's also the one that I've been able to find the least amount of information trying to do research on. So I found some stuff and I wanted to share with you all. So for me, when I got this, I was very excited about it and in a hurry, wanted to get going. But I also knew that I wanted to be portability. I knew that I used my Gator for so many different things that I would be taking the 45-gallon tank in and out. So I wanted to take advantage of using the cigarette lighter to where I could just plug in, do what I needed to do, then unplug, take everything out, do a different function with it. Well, and that's all fine in theory, but where I ran into problems and you can't find anything to tell you in the books, in any of the instruction manuals, all of these, they don't tell you anything about wiring. They tell you about mechanically how to assemble. So that's the part that's frustrating about this. The other thing that was frustrating is it didn't tell you that on this pump, this is a variable speed motor, and you change the speed by just rotating this knob. And when you are full clockwise, full turn on, it's pulling 15 amps current. And going through the cigarette lighter cannot handle that. Your first weakest link is this plug right here. The adapter can only carry 5 amps. So first of all, you immediately start blowing fuses. You do like everybody else does, put a bigger fuse in, and yeah, it won't blow fuses anymore, but this is just inexpensive plastic, and over time, it will just melt the innards out of this to the point, and yes, innards is a technical term. Anyway, it will melt this down and completely self-destruct. So that's your first weakest link. Second weakest link is the cigarette lighter adapter. It can only pull 10 amps. So you run into shortcomings there. So when you get all of this, you get all of this wire, all of this comes in with it with no instructions on how, where, or what to do. So I started trying to watch other YouTube videos, doing reading, calling. I could never get any straight answers on this. So I was able to kind of do a little detecting work myself with just looking at other videos for different models and kind of figure out where to go look. So anyway, there are fortunately 2 sources inside the Gator that nobody shows you, nobody tells you about, that's already in there that you can hook to, and they are the higher sources. So hang on and I will show you where to go find these. So again, there's 2 locations where there are plugs that you can tap into for your power sources that's higher than a 10 amp service. One of them is underneath here. To get to here, it's very simple and very easy. You don't need any tools, any requirements. These just go into a grommet that it just plugs into. So all you do is just pull and release, and this right here will come out. It is that easy. And this gives you full access all into here. So let me bring the camera around. And you will see that you will find plugs like this. You'll find these kind of plugs, all of this. And in this situation, these are for add-ons, like for horns, for tilt, and all of that. So they put in the full wire harness, but obviously on a TS model, you're just using the basics. But anyway, if you look, you will see here is one plug. It's got a red and black, and if you put a meter on here, you will see that there's 12 volts. Now it is there all the time, but that is one point that you can hook to. And then the other one is located, it is back here. Let me spin around here real quick and pop this up. So when I first located this one, I was thinking, okay, this is great. I will just tie in here and I'll try to run my harness down. It is a very tight tube. It runs under the middle here, so John Deere thought of that. And they also have your wires run back here, and lo and behold, there is another wire source, and this is 12 volts as well. And this is where I'm going to tie in to do for my sprayer. So let me grab my pigtails and I'll show you what I've got going on. All right, one thing I wanted to make sure I emphasize is this is a 12 volt source and it's always there. It's not part of the switch. So when the unit is sitting here turned off, if we were to take a meter to this, there would be 12 volts there. So whatever you add to this, I would highly recommend make sure it's fusible. Now, as part of the kit for the sprayer, it comes with this pigtail, which is really cool because the way they do it, you can plug into the source I'm getting ready to plug into, and then if you ever want to add something else, you can add. It's like a daisy chain. That's really cool, but it's also fused, and that's what I love. This is a 15 amp fuse inside here. So it is just as simple as plugging in here. And for me, I am just going to run this up through and have it come out behind the seat. I wish there was a better way, and I'm actually going to run it far enough to where the fuse is out, so if I blow a fuse and need to check it, I can. And I'm going to zip tie this up nice and neat and make sure it's strain relief. But this is how I'm going to get my power to my sprayer. Just tip the seat forward and it'll be right there. And for right now, that's my best option. All right, let me grab a zip tie and we'll get this all tie wrapped up nice and pretty, and then we'll finish hooking it up. I like to zip tie everything up nice and tight. Number one, it keeps it from flopping around and getting into someplace it doesn't supposed to be, but also it use it as a strain relief to keep anything from getting pulled apart. And it doesn't take but a second, and it neatens up the job, and that way you don't have to worry about it. All right. So that was fast and easy, and we are there ready to go. So let me reposition the camera. We'll drop this down and we'll finish hooking everything up and getting the sprayer all connected. All right, this is the pump motor here, and again, it's variable speed. It is changed by, this is on this unit, on the 45-gallon tank John Deere sprayer. And you can change about how much product you want to put out by varying this knob, which turns the speed of the motor up and down. And this is the main input here. Now, this unit came with a really cool option that I really like, and that is it has a remote capability. And it is really cool because as you're spraying, you can just have this in your hand and you can turn the pump on and off without having to reach and grab a switch. And that's really a nice feature. So I'm going to install this back in and I'll show you how that goes. Okay, on this remote, it is marked 12 volts in and 12 volts out. And obviously this is the out that feeds into the motor. So this hooks up just like this, and you just want to make sure, because some of these the plug-ins are a little backwards, so you need to make sure, always make sure that you match up your red and black to black. And as you can see, when I plug this in, it's a straight line, red to red, black to black. All right, so then I'm just going to Velcro this on. That's just industrial type Velcro. I'll tie wrap this up nice and neat here in a second. This is a pretty straightforward, easy installation. Okay, so now we've got all these other wires. I do want to use this wire accessory that has the on and off switch, because there are occasions to where I'm going to leave this in, when I'm done, I'm not going to take it out, and I don't want to have 12 volts feeding this all the time. So I'm going to wire this in line. And again, making sure you got your continuity straight. And if you look, I am going red to red, black to black. Double checking continuity. And then I'm not going to use any of these old shorter ones anymore. We'll discard those to the side. And I will just come right over the edge, tie in. Double checking red to red, black to black. And so now I'm basically ready to go. Now this, again, reminder, this is fused, so we're all nice and safe. So now this is out of the way. I can turn this on, and if I hit my switch, you can hear the pump motor running. Pump motor on, pump motor off. Very cool, very simple. But the key is finding in those 15 amp sources that I showed you. That's something you cannot see or find anywhere. So I just wanted to share that little quick tip on these locations in a TS model Gator. So if you guys are upgrading and adding accessory to your Gator, you'll know where they are and where to find them. So anyway, guys, I appreciate so much you tuning in. Again, I'm new to the YouTube family. Really would appreciate the likes and the shares and the subscribes. It really helps with the algorithms. I know you guys hear it from everybody and you get tired of hearing it, but it really is important. I'm really wanting to grow the channel and do a lot more videos as we go forward, but I really need your help to make that happen. So if you enjoyed this little tidbit, please hit the like button for me and subscribe and share with your friends. And that's it for now. We'll check in with you again real soon with another edition. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.